Peace. This is King Noble Black Supremacy. And with this particular video, I want to talk about how black power is in the nothingness. The true black power that we seek to attain as a people exists in the nothingness. Comes from the nothingness, which is the origin of all that is. It's the origin of the entire universe. It's the source of all human consciousness. In order to attain the type of black power, the independence, and the sovereignty that we want, the liberation, we must return back to the nothingness. The nothingness is the anti-matrix. That's reality before their paradigms, before their perceptions, before their constructs, and before their narratives. There was nothingness. And that nothingness became defined, interpreted, shaped, and formed by human consciousness over eons of time. Now human beings that are incarnating into this particular plane are now being born into the trap, into the nothingness, the mental incarceration, the mental institution that we call life on earth now, that is constantly being generated by the elite, by the white supremacists, the Illuminati, the corporations, whatever you want to call them. They have now determined what the value of reality is and enslaved everyone who seeks to achieve or obtain the value that they created. They've also placed false value in themselves and in their existence. Without their false value system, they are nothing. They are nobody. They need the propaganda, the media, the religion to promote the value of their existence, to make their existence valuable. And that is the prison that we live in today in society. We're not physically shackled in the material world. The physical world is free. The quantum world is free. The subatomic particle reality is free. Energy is free. Life is free. But it is the mental construct, the mental institution, the mental framework. It is how value has been projected to us, is where we become slaves, is where we are trapped into their reality. So now we've defined freedom as moving within their framework. We've defined progress and success as graduating inside of their construct and inside of their framework. So everything we do creates more value for them. It validates them and empowers them and further enslaves us. Because everything we call something, we have borrowed from their reality and we have been born into their false illusion and born into their construct. So everything we called something, they have given it to us. They have defined reality. And we're existing and moving within their definition of reality. Our freedom will only return when we can go back to the state of nothingness. When we can reset our consciousness. We have to go back, far back. Not just the Akashic records. No records are good enough now. No traditions, no history, none of their stories, no point in antiquity. We have to reset our consciousness in its totality to go back to the state of void and back to the state of nothingness, which is where limited possibility and infinite creation exist, and we exist outside of their realm and outside of their artificially created reality. Our true power is in the nothingness. All of the somethingness they define, they understand, they monopolize. All of the nothing, all of the somethingness is reflective of them and who they are in their society and their world. Only when we return back to the nothingness do they become invisible. Do they become irrelevant? Do they become insignificant? And that is the divine conscious creators that we really are. We can recreate them and redefine their existence and redefine our existence. And we can rewrite history and transform the present moment into a reality where we're completely and absolutely free and empowered within this present moment. So we escape the mental shackles of slavery. The mental chains are casted off our minds, and we are free. We're no longer inside of their light code lockdown, living according to their codes, trying to liberate our minds, trying to liberate a mind that they gave us, trying to achieve a success that was essentially defined by them, trying to fight in a world that they gave us, trying to find our existence in the false world. We must go back to the nothingness, because that's where the defining power comes from. That's where self-creation comes from. We must go back to the uncreated. We must go back to Amun, the uncreated state. And we must recreate in the present moment all that is and all that shall ever be. And we will liberate ourselves from their world and transform the energetic frequencies of their existence and everything on the planet, and make sure that it benefits us, that we are the beneficiaries of the paradigm, of the framework, of the consciousness reality. You can't free yourself inside of a mind that is working against you, inside of a construct that is working against you. The definitions have been rigged against you. Everything you do contributes to their world. They are scavengers of every conscious thought that we have inside of the framework that they engineered. They were a virus that rewrote everything, that changed the entire script of our consciousness interfacing. I just want to touch on that. We must go back to the nothingness. That's the deep state, and that's where spirituality and meditation and conscious realization meets black liberation and meets black power. Because you have to go back to that nothingness. Because all of this conscious reality, or what we call conscious reality, or what we consider conscious reality, caters to them. It has been engineered by them and perpetuated by them. This King Noble Black Supremacy. Join my website, www.kingnobleblacksupremacy.com. Donate and don't hate.